Hi friends, it's Coach Amelia. One of the questions that we have frequently is, how come the numbers in my tracking app don't match up when I enter it in my Google check-in sheet to check in with me? So it's a bit of a loaded question or a loaded answer, I guess. So the first thing I want you to know, if you don't take anything else away, is that I want you to pay attention to the totals of your carbs, your proteins, and your fats versus the calories, okay? So I want you to be focused on that. We are macro counters, we are macro scientists. That's what I want you to focus on. And I want you to try to be within 5 grams of each of those numbers. So 5 grams over or under on your protein and your carbs and your fat, okay? Biggest takeaway. So let's review, going into my answer. Let's review. 1 gram of fat is 9 calories. 1 gram of a carb is 4 calories. 1 gram of protein is 4 calories, always. Now, when you're eating foods that are packaged, this is the ones that are gonna throw off your tracking. So again, we believe in 80-20. So we want a lot of those whole foods, a lot of the things that aren't as much coming from a package, that are from the ground, grew in the ground, walked on the ground, lived on the ground, swam on the ground, all those, right? On the earth, okay? So the packaging is where it can get a little bit tricky. First thing is the FDA has a lot of kind of grayish area, especially when it comes to foods targeted towards dieting or dieting culture, okay? So first off, they can round within quite a bit. So they can round to make a package say, 70 calories instead of 78.2 calories. They can bring it down almost even to at least to that much. It depends on some of the specifics of each of the grams of the macros. So look at the macros. Look at how many grams of protein, look at how many grams of carbs, and look at how many grams of fat. Because those are almost always not going to add up. Sometimes there'll be a bigger difference than others, but they're not going to add up to what the label says, no matter what, okay? Second is it gets a little bit dicey when we go for the foods like this, okay? So I have 2 tortillas here, just a Mission brand, very standard flour tortilla. And then I have the same brand, Mission brand, a carb balance. So on the packaging, it's talking about the fiber that's in there. It's talking about the carbs. They're using net carbs, okay? So they are loading it with a fiber, a dietary fiber. It's an insoluble fiber. And then they can cancel out some of those carbs, cancel out. It's a really gray area. So I'm not gonna say that those are bad. I'm just gonna say that, I'm gonna get them again. If you look at them, both have 3 grams of fat. The carb balance has 5 grams of protein and the original has 4 grams of protein. So they're pretty close on that. So it's mainly just messing with the carbs here. So this original carbs or original tortilla has 24 carbs. It actually does have 1 gram of a dietary fiber, but they don't subtract that. They don't subtract that. This one that's labeled carb balance and low carb, targeting, a certain kind of audience, this has 19 grams of carbs. And then they add 15 grams of dietary fiber, 15 grams. So they're able to say that it has 4 grams of carbs because they subtract that out. Now, fiber is a good thing. I would just still try to rely on most of our fiber coming from whole foods, higher food fibers. They are more natural fiber. The ones that are added are really just kind of to help you poop. They really are. I obviously buy them. They are in my home. So I'm not saying that they're bad. I'm just saying that things like that are labeled low carb and that are, trying to appease to the consumer. The keto ones too, they do that. Look at how many grams of fat, how many grams of carbs, how many grams of protein. And that's what I want you to pay attention to. I hope you have a fabulous day.